name is Mark Curcio. This is my 7th year teaching here at Derry Area High School. I teach English 1 with 9th graders, English 2, and Advanced English 2.
Guys, we're quiet. Let's go. So we got this sheet right here. Where we left off with central idea number 4. We're on the last section. It's called selective attention, so please turn there now. We'll just keep doing what we have been doing. All right. Again, we are highlighting and we are annotating, not anecdoting. Who needs highlighters?
Yesterday. My whole pocket was
What skills doesn't it help develop? We are all creatures of habit. I'm a firm believer of that. So I do a weekly article, 10% of the week. I assign on a Monday, Tuesday, and it's due on a Thursday, Friday, based on what's going on throughout the week. But basically, a 10% summary, at least the way that I structure it, it covers literally everything that you would want an English teacher to do, whether the end goal is the Keystone test or beyond. So right off the bat, you get the article. You choose an article that connects in some way. Text the self, text the text, text the world of what you're talking about in the classroom. So while you have your discussions on the novel or the poem or whatever you're covering content-wise, you can refer back to the article of the week and you can see if the kids have been doing their assignment. So that's number 1. Number 2, again, the highlighting and annotating. It really hones in on study skills, which I think a lot of kids struggle with nowadays. I saw on some social media the other day about how in school we learned how to do this, but no one actually taught me how to study, which I thought they meant as like a funny meme, but at the same time, maybe it is our job as middle school, high school teachers to really teach the material, but also how to learn the material, how to study the material, because let's face it, you remember a summary of a novel you read, but sometimes you forget the content, and in college you need the content, not the summary of a story that you read in 10th grade. So that's the idea with the highlighting.
All right. Some things I would have annotated, and I'll give this back, obviously, Caleb. Early November. Early November is the name of a band, so a critical one, I'd probably write band. All right. Has anyone else heard of that band before? They're decent. They're decent. Early November. But you don't have to put that. I'm just saying. All right. The fact that this was published, what we just talked about, that would be actually a really good annotation. The fact this was published on the day of the election and it proved the idea or the theory of coincidence right, that would be a good one. Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, obviously those are the 2 candidates that were against each other. Someone assumed 538 got it wrong. You can actually write an annotation that they did. Right? They got it wrong because Donald Trump is the current president. All right, as you're working, Mary, give me 1 bullet. That's obviously a good one. Colin, give me another bullet. Red, another bullet. What's that? Early November? That's fine. That's when this took place, right? That's a fact. That's fine.
There's word development, so you have them include 3 important words from the article in the summary. It forces them to go back and proofread their material instead of just turning it in, because they have to go and make sure that there's an X number of words per sentence, so there's editing involved. If you have a vocabulary word wall, if let's say they have 4 words in a sentence and they have to turn it into 1, what word can I use to plug that in and still make sense? So there's that aspect of it. Like I said, there's too many to name.
Okay. Again, I'm doing the challenge. I'm going to use all 5 of those. If you want to follow along, use all 5. I'm only asking you to use 3 out of those bullet points to make your sentence summary. So let's see how we do here. All right. So here is mine. An example of selective attention is when 538 predicted in early November that Donald Trump would lose the election, semicolon, they were wrong. All right. Dan, can you please read your sentence, sir? Perfect. Good. All right. We now have 1 more sentence left. It's arguably the most important one. It's the start sentence. This is 100% corny, but that's why I love it. It's an awesome formula for those of you that struggle or say, I don't know what to write, or I don't know how to start this, all right? This is a really good math-based formula. So math, X equals this, A equals this. You just plug the stuff in. This is a formula you literally plug the stuff in, and it sounds very, very good. Okay?
I think the biggest thing is confidence. Kids really struggle with the first and the last sentence. They don't know how to start and they don't know how to finish. So when it comes to two things, the Keystone test, obviously they got to construct a response. The topic sentence is how you start. So you want to start off with a bang. So the start sentence, especially when you're doing a 10% summary, it covers what the source is, so where did it come from, or if it's a poem, if it's an article, whatever. It covers the title. Make sure you capitalize the title so you let the reader know what you're talking about. It has the author, so make sure you include that in there. It also covers author's purpose, and then again, the last one, the T, is the topic. So on a Keystone, if there's a prompt, the start sentence, you're basically answering the prompt in one sentence. It has all 5 of those things. You're starting off really, really strong. So that's the Keystone side of things. The other side is any other class. So again, start sentence helps with topic development, topic sentence development, but also claim statements or responding to literature. So you can use the same formula, but you change the aspects of it to fit what you're talking about. So obviously in a 10% summary, if I gave you an article on the Civil War, you would use your classic start sentence that PLN prescribes. But if it says how is tone used in a poem, you could say in the poem title written by blah blah blah. This topic would be tone, and then you include like a really good verb, and then you actually answer the question. So you can use the same formula in different aspects or different realms of writing. And like I said, the confidence-wise comes from the fact that they have a formula. They can just plug in the stuff. It sounds good, and then eventually, you kind of want to wean them off that so they develop their own writer's style. But when it comes to just getting stuff down on paper and just a really, really good start, the 10% summary start sentence is the way to go.
Okay, article's already there. Okay, little side grammar lesson for you. This is what we call a prepositional phrase, which is why you need a comma there. In is a preposition, so a direction. In, on, out, over, all right? In, that, comma, and then your subject, the most important, well, not the most important, the verb is, but the second most important part of a sentence, the subject, you're summarizing the article, so it's the article name. So T stands for article. French, what is the name of this article? Good. Everyone write that down.
I love the 10% summary and start sentence. Yes, it's a template and script, but our students need to see and hear what academic writing looks and sounds like. And as Mr. Curcio explains in his video, slowly we should wean our students away from the template and let them develop their own writing voices.
All right. Now check this out. Like I told you, this start sentence, really good formula. So look how good this sounds. In the Washington Post article, Murphy's Law of Coincidence, whatever can happen will happen eventually, the author explains through problems that coincidences happen more often than not. It's good, right? It's good. No, it's good. It's good. Look, prepositional phrase. You challenged me, so I'm going to show you. Prepositional phrase. This is the modifier of this, because that's the name of the, right? This is the subject. This is the verb. The rest. This is the modifier too, through problems. So technically explains that coincidences happen more often than not. So it's not a run-on sentence, it's a legit sentence. Yeah, no, I have to say it and then do it, right? There's no pause in the middle. So you count this up. All right, mine's 27. Obviously, it's going to vary throughout there. Okay, so remember I told you, reason number 3, and this is where we finish, guys. We proofread, we edit, and then we transfer it over, okay? I told you that reason number 3 why I really like this assignment is that it forces you to go back and actually read, edit, and proofread your stuff. This is what we're going to do now. So this is where we're started the groans. I expect the groans, but honestly, for those of you that like challenges, things like this is where you guys will excel. Okay? So, the word count of this is 917. 10% is 92. So 91.7, 92 words. All right? Here's what I'd like you to do. Add up all 5 of your sentences. So you have 4 central ideas and 1 start sentence. Add all those up. You can use your phones if you would like, if you don't want to use basic math. You're adding up all your sentence ones. All right? It needs to be 92 exactly. Now, if you're over, you have to take words out. If you're less, you have to add words. Okay? So, for example, and then I'm going to let you guys work and I'll help you around individually. You have to catch up, if that's what your question is. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So check this out, guys. Let's say you're over. Let's say you're over. You can actually work in the start sentence. So see how there's a colon here? Everyone see that? Not colon, a colon. Colon, whatever. What? Colon. Colon. All right. What that means is, this is an extension. It's also known as a subtitle. Technically, all they want is the title. So you can stop here and get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words right off the bat. Okay? Another way, let's say you have modifiers like I do. You can get rid of modifiers and just say it. Explains, that coincidence can happen more often than not. 1, 2. So right off the bat, I deleted 8 words, if that's what you want to do. Okay? So, that's what we're doing right now. I will go around and help you individually. Get all of your sentences down to 92. Go ahead.
The beautiful part about the students summarizing with only 10% of the original words is it requires them to play with language, sometimes becoming more concise and sometimes adding additional details. But either way, any time they get to go back to a piece of writing and polish it, they're getting the chance to grow and improve as writers. If our teachers in all content areas find articles related to their subjects and push their students to read and concisely summarize them, we'll be well on our way to taking our kids to another level of learning.